Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your true heel phenom, SP3. We are live on Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter with UnSKripted, with usually Dr. Chris Featherstone. Unfortunately, he's a little bit under the weather, couldn't be with us today, so I am filling in, and we have a great guest on this edition of UnSKripted. She is a guitarist for Alice Cooper and the Guitar Collective. You might have seen her at NXT Takeover stand and deliver with her great performance. It is the one, the only, Nita Strauss. Thank you for joining us, Nita.
Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to chat some wrestling with you guys.
Absolutely. So for everyone watching, please give this video a thumbs up. Share your questions in the live chat. This is all for you guys. You guys are the ones doing the questions. I'm just here to field them. And you got to have a lot of questions for Nita. You had that great performance at NXT Takeover, Stand and Deliver. How was your experience during WrestleMania week? Just to start us off with a little question here from me. Go ahead.
It was incredible. You know, it's been a crazy year and a half with the pandemic. Of course, everyone's life is completely turned upside down. And it was amazing to just get out there and perform for anybody, not even counting the fact that it's my WWE family getting to perform at NXT for the first time. You know, I've had a song used for NXT Takeover, but I've only ever performed at WWE events. So it was just an amazing experience to finally get to be there in the building, with NXT and perform for a crowd of, it's 200 people, but it was like a loud 200 people. It felt like 20,000 people. So it was just an incredible experience. And to get to stay for the rest of Takeover and Mania was absolutely awesome.
No, that's awesome. And I loved your performance at Stand and Deliver. So we got our first question here from Dermero. We have, how did you got to perform Shinsuke Nakamura's theme at WrestleMania 34? I was there live at WrestleMania 34. By far, Nakamura had one of the best entrances of the night, and you had a lot to do with that. So please, how did you get to perform that great theme of Nakamura at WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans?
Oh, it was so much fun. Actually, I wore the shirt for you guys. This is the shirt that WWE gave me that day when I performed. So I actually haven't worn it since that week, and I thought, what better time to bring it out than for you guys? So thank you, Guillermo, for bringing that up because I love talking about it. Yeah, WrestleMania 34 was unbelievable, and it was, my manager Josh, who's also my boyfriend, really was the one. It was his brainchild. He had this incredible vision for me to perform Shinsuke's song, and he specifically thought of that. And we didn't know anybody. We didn't have the connection to be like, oh, hey, call them up and make it happen. He really worked hard and tried, his best to get it to a lot of people. And finally, at the 11th hour, it got to the right person, his idea. And WWE, contacted us back and said, we love it. We have an idea to do it really huge and have Shinsuke have this incredible entrance. And it was unreal, man. It was absolutely amazing, and so happy that it led to so many other great experiences with WWE, from Evolution to having my song used at Takeover in LA, and then again to Takeover this last week.
It's awesome. We have another one from Guillermo. He says, which superstar theme would you like to play at a pay-per-view or an NXT event?
I'm always just happy to play. I really am. They could stick me on anything and I'd be happy to play it. But if I got to pick, you guys know I am a huge Becky Lynch fan. And I have faith that the man will return. And when she does, I want to be there with her playing her theme song.
Oh, I would love to hear that. We got Elvis Martinez on Facebook. He says, are there any tour dates for Colorado? And if you could sing a song for a WWE, I guess, superstar, who would it be and why? I guess you kind of already answered that second part, but do you have any tour dates coming up in the Colorado area for Elvis?
Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, I should make it clear that nobody wants to hear me sing any song. I'm a terrible singer. If you put a guitar in my hands, I can handle it. If you put a microphone in front of me, trust me, I don't think they'd ever hire me to do that, because I don't think they want people to leave. As far as tour dates, unfortunately, I wish I had better news. There's no tour dates for anywhere right now. I know some states are starting to open up. Florida, Texas, Georgia are having some shows, but as far as I know about Colorado, you guys are still locked down tight up there. You're not having people come in from out of town and play. So unfortunately for touring bands, it's hard to book a tour when you can only play, maybe 7 or 8 places at the most. So we're all waiting. Trust me, I'm as impatient as you guys are, and I really hope we can get back on the road soon.
I hope so as well. We got Derek Gibson saying, hello, Nita. Would you write theme songs for WWE if given the chance?
Oh, hell yeah. Of course I would. I mean, it's a dream, for any musician to hear their song played in front of millions of people. And, especially for me, with being a wrestling fan and a musician, of course I would jump at the chance. And actually, I did have a chance to write with some of WWE's music team quite a while ago, actually for a theme song for something that never ended up happening. So I wish that had gotten used, because the song was really cool. I wish you guys could have gotten to hear it, and I hope I get a chance to write with them again in the future, because it came out great. And I think what I do translates really well to wrestling themes, because I write kind of like high energy music, and WWE needs something like aggressive, high energy for their performers to come out to. So I think I would do a good job if I had a chance.
I'm very interested in who it was.
I can't say. WWE, and they're very secretive about what they're up to. Trust me, I wish I could, because it was really cool. But if they didn't put it out, I don't think I can put it out either, unfortunately.
I understand. We got Rorito saying, Nita, who inspired you on this career?
I guess on my music career. Well, my first inspiration was my dad. My dad was a musician as well, and he's the one that got me my first guitar and taught me my first few chords. And after that, I was just like, off to the races. Never looked back. I always knew that playing music was what I wanted to do with my life and what I wanted to do with my career. And I'm really grateful that I got to pursue that all my life. And I started touring when I was 15. I dropped out of high school partway through junior year to pursue music full time. And I've been touring now professionally for 15 years and never stopped.
Chasing that dream. I love to hear it.
Got to.
We got Red Juice saying you recently told Lucha Libre Online that you'd love to get in the ring. Who are some of your dream opponents?
You know, it's so funny throwing around this idea of actually wrestling because I feel like every fan thinks about it. You know, every fan thinks about like, what would you do? What would your move be? You know, how would you talk? Would you be face? Would you be heel? And like, I'm just like every other fan in that I think about that stuff. And so, of course, when someone asks me about it, I'm like, yeah, I get in the ring, and yeah, this, you know, like my nickname is Hurricane Nita, so of course I'm gonna do a Hurricane Rana because it's like. Um, as far as dream opponents, I hadn't really thought about it, but like in my mental image of myself as a wrestler, I'm pretty athletic in my regular life. You know, I actually just finished working out, which is why I have no makeup on or anything for you guys today. But I'm pretty athletic already, so I imagine being a pretty athletic wrestler if I was to ever get in the ring, hopefully someday, and get to do a couple spots. So I'd like to have, you know, an interesting match. I don't know if I can ever be as accomplished as the real Lucha Libre guys, but you know, get some high flying spots in, get some interesting move sets in. You know, that's what I'd want to do.
I would love to see it. And Becky Lynch needs a tag team partner for the women's tag team titles. Just saying.
Exactly, Becky. Come on, I'm ready. Let's go. I just got done working out at the gym. Let's do it.
She can't team with Charlotte anymore, so she got you.
No, but how great was Charlotte last night, though?
She was. She was great promo.
She was, I mean, like, just so, like, Josh and I were watching, like, yeah, she really is so great at what she does.
Absolutely. You agree heel Charlotte is the best Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You know, but you know what's funny? Like, I actually, when she said, you know, this is the new Charlotte Flair, you know, I'm not apologizing for being the greatest anymore. Josh and I both looked at each other, we're like, when did she ever? Like, she was never really like that modest, humble character. She's always been like, in your face, I'm the greatest. Like, and then she does it well, and she should because she's great.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you there. We got Alan Jose John saying, what's your verdict on Bad Bunny's in-ring debut?
I thought it was so great. I really did. And I went in, like, no offense to Benito, I went in with no expectations. You know, we were there, we were sitting, you know, 5 or 6 rows back. And I really thought that it was going to be like just sort of your typical celebrity coming in and you know, staying back, you know, reaching for the tag, maybe getting in for a few minutes. He wrestled the whole match. Like, I was waiting for, like, at some point I was like, is Damian Priest going to come in and do anything? Like, you know, because he's an amazing wrestler himself, you know, so I was like, I was wondering, are they even going to use Damian Priest in this match? Like, I thought Bad Bunny totally, he slayed it. The crowd was behind him. You know, like, I wish that you guys could have all felt the energy in that room. Like, with the first time he got up on the top ropes and did the jump, like, I mean, it was unbelievable. And I actually felt really bad for Sasha and Bianca having to follow that match because, like, the energy there, his fans were there. It was loud, it was rowdy. And, like, when he finished, you know, a big part of the stadium was like, aw, you know, like, aw, it's over. And it was like, it was a shame that it was over. And of course, Sasha and Bianca went out there and crushed it. But it was definitely a tough act to follow, for sure.
I've said it to a couple of people. I think it's the best, like, final 2 matches at WrestleMania since like 17. It's been a while since we had those quality of matches back to back.
Totally amazing. And I remember after their match finished, after Bad Bunny's match finished, I was saying to, you know, to Josh and the people around, I was like, they should have put him last. You know, it's not fair for anybody to follow because he's such a star, you know, outside of wrestling, and he had so much of his own fan base there. I was like, it's not fair to put any match on after that. You know, who wants to follow that? And then, of course, they did, and they crushed it.
Absolutely. Great way to end the show. We got Derek Gibson again saying, how did you come up with the saying, egos kills talent?
Yeah, actually, I didn't come up with that. That is a shirt that I love to wear. I wear a shirt called Ego Kills Talent that says Ego Kills Talent on it. For a ton of my concerts, photo shoots, I wore it on the cover of Guitar World magazine, and it's actually by a company called Beverly Kills. And this company, really, their message is about being humble, being true to yourself, and not letting anything get in the way of your dreams, not letting you lose yourself, lose your morals, lose your integrity while you pursue your dreams. And I love this brand. I love everything that they stand for. And that's why I wear that shirt so much. So I definitely take no credit for it. But if you guys want to check out BeverlyKills.com, a lot of wrestlers wear their stuff as well. Stone Cold wears it. Finn Balor wears it. So many great, people in the wrestling industry wear their stuff because it really resonates. It resonates with every industry. Everybody, whether you're in music, whether you're in wrestling, whether you're a banker, or you work at a restaurant, everybody knows somebody in their field that has let their ego or let their drive get in the way of what they really believe in. They'll step over somebody just to get ahead. So I like the messaging of Beverly Kills, where it says, this shirt is your reminder to stay humble. I wish I had come up with it. It's a great saying.
Yeah, it is. It is a great saying. You could have took credit. I think no one would have realized it, but I like your modesty.
Well, there you go. The ego kills talent. I don't have enough ego to take credit for something that I didn't do. But something I really like about that shirt is something most people don't realize is, the big print says ego kills talent. And then behind it, it says in dark letters, you barely see, it says kill your ego over and over and over again. So I think everybody needs to take a step back and kill their ego sometimes and focus on what's important. So I like that shirt. It's a conversation starter.
I agree. We got another one here from James Wheeler saying, how special was it performing the national anthem on TakeOver last week?
I mean, so special for so many reasons. And I won't repeat myself by saying the same thing as the beginning, but I could say it 1,000 times just how amazing it was to get to perform in front of people and get to it felt like coming home to, the WWE crew. It's all the same people that I've worked with at Mania and at Evolution. So, it was like seeing friends. It wasn't like seeing friends. We got to see friends that we hadn't seen in, a year or two since the pandemic happened. And I will say, especially that song was really special. The National Anthem definitely has a lot of symbolism to it. And I was very honored to get to play it, to get to be a part of that celebration. And the coolest part, I think, was, maybe there's so many cool parts, but a really cool part was at the end, they were, Triple H was talking to all the wrestlers and had asked me and Josh to come in the room as well to be there for the talk afterward. And he singled me out in front of all the wrestlers and thanked me for performing it. And he said, thank you for performing the national anthem for us tonight. And it was really an honor that I still as a fan get excited that he knows who I am, and the fact that he said, hey, come please be in here, while I acknowledge all the different people that made this event so special. And, he talked about each match and went through how special each one was and acknowledged their crew and how hard their crew has worked. And to just, be a part of that acknowledgement that he believed that I helped make the pay-per-view better was really an honor.
You brought it all together. You were the cherry on top.
I got to go first. I was first. Like they always say, and wrestlers always say, if you're not last, you want to be first. I was first.
You got it. We got Riju once again saying, does Alice still follow wrestling? And who are some of the wrestlers he likes from the current generation?
He doesn't keep up with the current products, but don't fault him for that. The guy does not own a phone. I'm not exaggerating. He actually doesn't have a phone. Like he's very old school. He literally sometimes it's funny when people think that he's, these fake accounts are him messaging on Twitter or Instagram. Like he literally does not have a cell phone or anything. He's got this presence, but he's not the one personally going on and tweeting things, but he speaks really fondly of the old days, of WrestleMania 3, Jake the Snake. He's got great stories about his time at WrestleMania. And Mick Foley actually came to our show, and Alice got really excited that he was there. He's like, wow, that's Mankind. He was really excited. So I don't think he keeps up with any of the new stuff, but he definitely is still really emotionally attached to, the wrestlers that he knows and loves.
Still holds a special place in his heart. You love to hear it.
Oh, definitely. How could it not? What an epic moment he had, with Jake and the Snake, and just awesome.
One of the biggest wrestling events ever he was a part of. So he can always have that, a little part of that in him.
Totally. Yes.
We got Kay Lee saying, "Hey Nita, the relationship you and WWE have built over these last few years has been amazing. What is one thing that you would like to do with the WWE that you have not done already?"
Oh, hey, Kaylee. Hey, my little sis. I would say that the thing I would like to do is wrestle, I guess. Like, that's the thing. I mean, what else? What's left? I wrote a song, even though it didn't get used. Maybe, I guess I'd like to do that too, write a song and get to play it for somebody. But I mean, I feel like that would be the thing. I guess I should start, jumping off stuff here at my house and get ready just in case.
Just do a couple of dives, or watch the Bad Bunny match over. That's be your study tape. You got a couple of things you could work through.
Start doing some promos on my phone in the mirror.
Exactly, or on social media. That's you put it out there to the world. Cut a promo. We go into business for yourself. Cut a promo on somebody
out. Yeah. All right, Becky. No, not Becky. Not you. I love you.
You're gonna get all of us in trouble. I love it. We got Rory 2 saying, "Nita, who is in your Mount Rushmore of WWE wrestling from 2010 to now, 2021?"
Ooh, 2010 to 2021. You're calling me out a little bit on some years that I'm not too familiar. I'm going to be completely honest, because I actually only started watching wrestling in 2016. And the reason for that, I do have a good reason. Don't turn the feed off. I grew up in a house without TV. So I didn't have any access to any wrestling or anything at all growing up. And, I started touring really young, and, I never really got too into really anything popular like that. Never really got really into any of the trending stuff that was happening on TV. And then it was only when Josh and I started dating, and he was a huge wrestling fan, grew up watching wrestling, that he showed me my first WrestleMania, which was 2016. And that is when that was my first exposure to watching any wrestling event at all. And all honesty, my first WrestleMania watching, I didn't get it. Like, I completely did not get it. And I was like, what's cool about this? Like, what do you like about this? And he kind of explained to me, to get it, you have to watch the older stuff. Like, you have to see that first in order to understand why this new stuff is so special. And so, because then we have the WWE network, and now we don't anymore. But, back in the good old days of 2016, he put on the network, and he put on the Monday Night Wars special. They had this great, I think it's an 8-part series about the Monday Night Wars. And that was my introduction to wrestling. And then, he's a purist. So we were watching all, the Attitude Era, the 80s and 90s and all that kind of stuff. So I have so much to catch up on still from the 2000s and, mid 2000s era, that I can't give you a good definitive answer of who I would pick in the last 10 years, unless we talk about current product now. But yeah.
I was gonna say, to reform his question, who is your Mount Rushmore from 2016 to now?
2016 to now. Okay, well, Becky has got to be on there because she's just done so much amazing stuff. I love a lot of the NXT wrestlers, even though Finn has gone up and come down, I feel like Finn for sure would be on mine, just because he's such an exciting performer and such a great talker, always has such great stories. Charlotte, for sure. I'm giving equal opportunity here, girls and guys. Charlotte, for sure. And then, can I pick Edge because of how amazing his comeback has been? Even though he's not technically a wrestler from now, or more of back then, Edge's comeback has just been so incredible. And so it's hard to pick a Mount Rushmore, of people that aren't finished with their career yet. I love what Rhea's doing. I love what Bianca is doing. I love, of course, what Sasha's doing. There's so much great talent out there. It's a good time.
Absolutely. A quick reminder to all the fans, keep putting those questions in. We're going to be with Nita for about like 5 more minutes. So we want to get as many of your questions in as possible. So definitely put those in the live chat. We got Alex here saying, what were your favorite matches from TakeOver and WrestleMania 37? Were there any you were disappointed with?
I thought that, okay, let me go for the second part of the question first. I was kind of bummed about night 2 of WrestleMania. Like there was so many things that I just thought, like so many people went over that I thought like, you know, everybody wanted Edge to go over and he didn't. And then everybody wanted Drew to go over and he didn't. And everybody wanted Big E to go over and he didn't. And it's like they had the drum match and not one drum was used. And it just like, to me, I was there in the crowd and Josh and I were like, aw, like, was it a great night of wrestling? Yes, an amazing night of wrestling. But like, I would say that I walked out a little disappointed as a fan, just like purely selfishly because I wanted somebody else to go over and they didn't. Like, favorite matches, I really thought Bad Bunny was so good. Like I thought Bad Bunny and Damian Priest and Miz and John Morrison was such a great, well executed match. I thought Miz and Morrison were perfect opponents because those guys are sell. I thought it was just so well planned and well done from start to finish. I love Rhea and Asuka too, just because I have been a huge fan of Rhea's since she started in NXT. I wanted to see her win last year at WrestleMania, and I wanted to see her get her WrestleMania moment. So I was really happy to see that happen for her this time. Like I was like Flair, I was like with a tear in my eye, like, you know, like I was just there, like I had both my hands in the air, like screaming and cheering. I felt like a little kid again, like watching her win. So I loved that moment for her.
Yes, and I totally agree with you on the night 2, you know, not feeling as euphoric as night 1, like we talked about with those final 2 matches. You left out of night 1 with so much joy, and it just wasn't like that for night 2.
Totally. Oh, and TakeOver, I loved Finn and Karrion Kross. I thought that was a killer match. There was a lot of great stuff at TakeOver, but standout for me for sure was Finn, Karrion Kross.
Really good match for sure. We got John Elite, one of the elite good eggs over on True Hill Heat. We got between you performing at WrestleMania 34 and TakeOver, which one is more sweeter?
I mean, it's hard to top WrestleMania. I mean, let's be real. Like WrestleMania was unreal. Nothing can top WrestleMania. But I will say that as a fan, I find myself more drawn to the NXT product. You know, NXT is like, you know, I'm a rock musician, a metal musician, and NXT kind of feels like my show. You know, it feels like something that I would watch and my friends would watch, and I do watch and my friends do watch. And like, you know, so in that way, NXT it really did feel like a homecoming, even though it was my first time there. You know, everybody there is just like hungry and excited and wanting to prove themselves. And like when you get up to WrestleMania, like they've proven themselves and they're there, and now you're part of this incredible machine and everything's tightly run. And you know, it's very, very, they run a very tight ship. Both brands run a very, very tight ship. But NXT just sort of had this level of like everything was like a feeling that it was about to boil over with excitement. So they're both sweet in different ways, I would say.
For sure. But you made it sweet with your performances for both of those, so that's good. So we're gonna take 2 more questions, guys. We got Rory2 saying, Anita, my son just asked me, how can we obtain an autograph from you?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. If you go to my website, my store is hurricanenita.com. We have signed posters, you know, all kinds of autograph stuff on there. And I also have a fan club page on Patreon, and that website is patreon.com/hurricanenita. If you go on there, there are 2 tiers that get a signed picture in the mail every single month. I mail them all out myself, and also get like postcards from me. We do live streams like this every weekend. A ton of other fun stuff going on the Patreon page. So I'd love to have you guys come hang out with me there.
You can see the link right there on your screen. So go over there and support Nita. She's so great, taking the time out, answering all your questions. So go over there to Patreon and support her. And our final question on UnSKripted, we got Benjamin saying, what do you think of Roman's new character, the tribal chief, the head of the table?
The head of the table. I acknowledge him. He's been acknowledged. I give a lot of credit to Roman for continuing to reinvent himself and create something interesting that's still sort of the same. Roman is always Roman. He's shirtless Roman. I think that with everything he went through in his journey, I think it's incredible that he's come back in such a big way. He's such an amazing soldier for the company. He does so much with their charity, events and everything like that. So, do I find it to be the most exciting and innovative thing that any wrestler has ever done? Maybe not. But I love that it's happening, and I love that for him, and I love that he's continuing to inspire kids all over the world to want to go out there and fulfill their dreams and go out there and get in the ring someday, because I think that that's what the Roman Reigns of the company do. They inspire the next generation to come and do it.
I agree with you there. Great answer and great questions from all of you guys in the live chat. Go over to Patreon and support Nita, patreon.com/Hurricane Nita. And anything else you would like to plug, or where they can find you on social media, Nita?
If you guys want to hang out with me on Instagram, Twitter, and all that good stuff, I am Hurricane Nita, just like you see in the link. I also do have online guitar lessons for anybody that wants something new to do during this crazy time that we are all stuck at home more often than we'd like. So that website is very easy to remember, iwanttoplayguitar.com. And I still have a special going on for WrestleMania weekend. If you use the code TAKEOVER, it will get you a discount. And besides that, come hang out with me on Patreon. It's a lot of fun. And thank you guys very much for having me on.
No, thank you, of course, Nita. Go over there, follow her on all of her social media platforms, her Patreon, as well as iwanttoplayguitar.com. We want to thank Nita Strauss for joining us on UnSKripted. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been UnSKripted. Until next time, we are signing off. Peace, guys.